To tell you guys. 3. Yo! What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Libra Views. I'm Charlene. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. So, child, Will Smith has clearly opened up the floodgates for people to come for comedians because T.I. done made the blogs for acting a damn buffoon and going at a comedian a couple hours ago, right? So a few hours ago, T.I. has made the blogs because he was going back and forth with this comedian, right? So this is the first video that came out and kind of made the blogs.
4. Or no, shut the fuck up for a second. Hey, listen. No. As many times as you joke on that shit, nigga, I'm gonna check your motherfucking ass as long as it takes. Nigga, when you stop talking about it, when you stop playing with me and mine, I'ma stop saying something. Nigga, ain't no motherfucking case, ain't never been no motherfucking case, cause I ain't did nothing wrong, and my wife ain't did nothing wrong. And if you keep on playing with me, nigga, I'm gonna motherfucking continue to confront you publicly, verbally.
Day. We've never had a forum on crime. T.I.'s innocent. I truly believe it. Get it up for him. There is no charge.
I don't want to hear none of that shit. Don't play with me about that.
I haven't.
Hey, me 4.
So as you can see, T.I. is going off because I guess the comedian had mentioned something about the sexual allegations that T.I. and Tiny, his wife, have against each other. Now, I ain't gonna lie. When those allegations came out, it definitely was a big thing. The internet went crazy, but we haven't heard much from that, and I believe that was close to a year ago. So, granted, there are sexual allegations against T.I., but nothing has come out, really since then. And it, like I said, it's been like a year. So that's one thing, right? So T.I. is going off on this girl, going off on her, saying she's not going to disrespect, his family and this, that, and the third, getting his Will Smith on. He was getting his Will Smith on, right? So I'm like, okay, here we go. T.I. going off, you know what I mean? I'm not even going to lie. I really used to like T.I. a lot. But over the years, he has just really just gotten to a place where it's just gotten really corny. He tries to use these big, words, and he really just ends up sounding like a motherfucker that got his GED when he got locked up and, for the first time read a book from front to end, you know what I mean, in his life and his adult years. I mean, he just sounds really, he tries to use these big words, and just over the years, he's really fallen off of me. So I'm watching this video, and I'm like, child, look at T.I. going off, sounding a fool. But I guess, he's defending his family. Cool. So then the comedian, the girl that he was actually going off on, she made a video and was basically like, let me tell you what really went on.
I'm going to tell y'all the real story so we can go ahead and get this shit out the way. Number 1, T.I. came to the show. Appreciate it. He did a 45-minute set. Now, he gets off stage. I'm making jokes about shit, about to bring up another comedian. He proceeds to start heckling from the crowd, calling me all kind of oh, I need to shut the fuck up. Nobody's talking about that. Then he proceeds to continue to tell me to take my wig off. Take your wig off in front of everybody. Trying to humble black women on some stupid shit, right? So I said, I'll take my wig off when you speak on the allegations. That's what prompted this whole thing. Nobody called him a rapist. I said, I'll take my wig off because you're trying to humble and play me when you speak on the allegations. I stand on what I said. If you're a comedian, anything's up for jokes. Niggas been talking about me all day, and I've been laughing at some of it. Nothing's off limits. Nobody's special. And please don't walk up on me again. I'm mad dangerous. So I'm going to explain this one time. This is about what happened at One Night Only at our bar on Edgewood with myself and T.I. T.I. came to the show. It's about over anyway. It's an open mic. He comes. He does like 30 minutes. Now, after he gets off stage, I'm going to the next shit. I'm hosting. I'm talking about marriage and shit. He keeps cutting me off, telling me to shut the fuck up, calling me all kind of bitches, heckling me. So I'm like, all right, come on, stop playing with me. Like, it's crazy. You keep going and I can't say nothing to you. He then starts yelling about how I need to take my wig off multiple times. Take your wig off right now. Cutting me off. Take your wig off right now. Because a lot of y'all are saying I took a cheap shot. This nigga was literally going on and on harassing me. I don't know why my eyes turn hazel. That shit is really ugly. But anyway, I said, I'll take my wig off when you speak on the allegations. Nobody was tight except for him. Nobody ever called him a rapist. I responded to him telling me in a room full of people to rip my wig off and made a joke just like he did. So if you got a problem with it, not mine.
So as you can see there, she pretty much is saying, she clearly is somebody that does amateur night all the time. Now, T.I. recently came out and he wants to be a comedian now. He's went from rapper to actor, and now he wants to be a comedian. Hey, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But now, he's starting to branch out into this lifestyle, and I guess he was at an amateur night, right? Now, it seems as though this girl always is at amateur night because she said she was hosting. She said she was about to bring somebody on and it was in between sets or whatever. And she was hosting. So clearly this is something that she does all the time. Now, she said that T.I. started heckling from the audience, being a buffoon, acting a damn fool, trying to flip the jokes on her. And she basically called him out, right? And that's what got him pissed. Now, what annoyed me is that as I was reading the comments, people were in the comments like, I need to know why T.I. started heckling her in the first place. T.I. just ain't out of nowhere, just started, going off on her. And I'm like, clearly you guys have not gone to comedy shows, because I've been to a handful of comedy shows and people heckle all the time. I specifically remember one show I was at, and the comedian was on stage, and it was a lady and two guys. They were sitting together and they were, laughing, trying to put the attention on them. And the comedian was like, okay, well, since you guys want attention, and he starts going off on them. And I'm sitting there because I had never seen that in person. I've seen it on TV, and, I see how comedians interact with the crowd. But that was like an intense moment where the comedian was like, oh, okay, you want to act out in the crowd? You want the attention? Let me give you some attention, right? So that absolutely does happen. People do heckle. When you go to comedy shows, people in the audience do get boastful. They do want to speak out. They do want to, be funny too. Now, so that's not really far-fetched that T.I. was in the audience heckling this girl. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he was trying to get his shine. He's T.I., so he already feels like he has, an upper hand on the rest of the comedians. And then he's probably trying to stand out. Like, yo, bitch, what's up? Take a wig, whatever. And she gave him a piece of, his own medicine. So then T.I. came out again and was basically saying that, he had never heckled her, he never called her a bitch, and that if she could provide any footage of him disrespecting her and calling her out of her name and doing all this stuff, that he would give her $1 million. Child, she pulled a video out so fast of him calling her a bitch. Like, it was the funniest thing.
See where the shit got twisted? Never called you out your name, never called you a bitch. You give me a video where I called you a bitch, I give you $1 million. Where I call you a bitch at? Where did I call you a bitch? You see where the shit got twisted? Never called you out your name, never called you a bitch. You give me a video where I called you a bitch, I give you $1 million. Where I call you a bitch at? Where did I call you a bitch?
So, child, I believe the comedian. I believe the girl. I believe that T.I. came to this amateur night, showed up late, tried to steal the show. She gave him a piece of his own medicine. And instead of him, in a comedic way, going back and forth and bantering back and forth, because let's not forget that one time when comedian Cat Williams was at the radio station with Wanda, I think the lady name was, and Wanda caught herself trying to, crack her little jokes or whatever at Cat Williams, and Cat Williams she was going in on how his dress and going in on him being broke and going in on his base, going on in his life, going in on Cat Williams about rumors that had been out in the streets. And Cat Williams was bantering with her back and forth. He never raised his voice at her. He never called her out of her name. He just was bantering with her back and forth, so much so that she got so bent out of shape that she called her husband to come and handle Cat Williams. But I say that to say, instead of Cat Williams getting emotional, T.I., since you want to be a comedian, instead of Cat Williams getting emotional and going up to a woman and doing all this and doing all that, you know what I mean? he bantered back and forth as a comedian would have done. Now, granted, I do know that this is a new career path that T.I. is branching into, and Cat Williams is a seasoned comedian, and he had been around for years and etc. And T.I. is just now getting into being a comedian. Cool, I get that. So, he probably hasn't been a comedian that long, so he's not used to it. But you're a performer. And I do understand that whether you're a singer, a rapper, an artist, a rock star, an artiste that's hosting an art show, a fashion show, whatever, the show must go on. So you can't get pissed off and want to storm the stage and do all this when if you started it in the first place, you should have heckled her back and went back and forth with her and really built up your comedic, resume, I guess, in that aspect, right? So like I said, I believe the girl. I believe the girl. I believe T.I. was acting a fool like he always do. I'm sorry. And I'm so disappointed because T.I.'s a Libra. You know what I'm saying? A September Libra. But a Libra, and so he just is so corny to me. Like, it's just so like, T.I., get over yourself, dude. Like, get over yourself. But that's all I got to say. I believe the girl. Thank you for tuning into my video. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the subscribe button. Like this video. Share it on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And until next time, deuces.